Hey, what's up, guys? It's Cheyenne here, and I am making some more videos to practice my speech. And I just want to talk about a little bit of the mindset about starting your journey, starting my journey, because I'm really talking to myself here. Starting my journey to becoming a better public speaker. And one of the hardest things to do for me, and I'm making these videos because my speaking coach, who is very, very excellent, has tasked me with the homework of shooting videos to practice my speaking in front of the camera, which is very, very important these days. Anyways, one of the hardest things to do for me when I first started on my journey to becoming a better speaker, a better public speaker, because everyone's a public speaker, right? You're always speaking in public. That's just our culture. We don't live on an island or in the middle of the woods, unfortunately. We live in a society where the communication is vitally important, and they always tell you this in school. They say the most important thing you can do to advance your career, and I heard this 1,000 times, and I even heard it in speech class and in college. They said the most important thing you can do to advance your life and your career is to improve your communication skills. And of course, being a person who is a masterful stutterer for over 32 years, that was very hard to adjust to and to put that into my mind, because I wanted to do everything except face the bad guy, and that's speaking. And for me, one of the hardest pills to swallow, and you still almost have to swallow it every day. It does get a little easier for me to swallow it, is the fact that when you are afraid to speak on the phone, to speak to people, when you get that social anxiety, or when you care so much about what the other people think, that you are paralyzed in fear, the hard pill to swallow is that you're holding a ball that's called anxiety, stutter, social anxiety, whatever it is. But for years I was holding this ball, and the hardest thing to swallow is that you're not actually holding on to anything. So then I have to register in my mind that for 32 plus years I was afraid of a monster that was never there. And for some of us who start this little journey thing later in life, and I really respect the older people, because I know quite a few of them who are on the same path I am, and they're in their 50s and 60s. And I would imagine that at that time in their life, it is an even harder pill to swallow, to look back on your life and say, for me, about 32 years, I was holding on to a ball that never existed. I was playing a game with myself. And, you know, it's just tough to it's tough to move on, but that's where accepting total responsibility and being a positive detective really comes into play. Because if you really study my life, you can see how much being a stutterer for 32 years actually helped me in a lot of ways. Maybe not the ways that you would exactly expect. There's sometimes a little more nuanced ways, but for sure you have to come, and I had to come to the realization that I love myself, and my stuttering, or whatever you want to call it, has actually helped me become the person that I am today, and I love that person. So you really have to shift the entire picture totally around on its head. And for me, that was a very hard pill to swallow.